Time. What does it mean to us? How does it define us? Often we look at time through the perspective of our own country and our own culture surrounding it. In this presentation, we hope to give you a little bit of a view of how time is a little different in other countries. From transportation and getting around, to apartment life, to food culture, to simply buying groceries, France, it appears, runs on a very different time scale than we do in the United States. First off, let's check in with Jack to see how you get around Paris and how this affects daily commutes.
There are lots of ways to get around Paris, but it's going to take you longer than at home. 3 miles here is likely to take 30 to 40 minutes compared to a quick drive in East Lansing. Luckily, you won't need a car though. One great way is to walk. It's part of why all the Parisians are so skinny. If you feel like hating yourself for 20 minutes, the bus is a great option too. If by some stroke of luck the train is coming in the next 10 minutes, the RER is a fast option. And last but not least, the extensive metro system. You'll use your Metro pass to access all of these, but the Metro will probably be your most used form of transportation. In Paris, everyone uses the Metro, even dogs. Also, you better get comfortable in tight spaces with lots of people. My favorite is when a message will come on in French, and everyone just gets off without complaint, leaving you wondering, what is going on? Other tips for the Metro is that there's always room for one more, and you never stand on the left side. That's where we walk. If you're feeling lucky and want to use the RER, always remember to look at the 4-letter code on the front to make sure it's the right one. If it's there, these signs are your best friends too. When all else fails, do what you do back home and just grab a lime.
Okay, y'all, now let's open the door and find out with Nick what apartment life is really like and how it affects your daily routine.
So you go to Europe not knowing what exactly to expect, right? And the pace of this city is a lot different than the pace of an American city, in my opinion. The one thing that I was very bothered by was they don't have dryers here. And look at these washers. You load your clothes through this mechanism. You need 2 hands. That's closed, right? Gonna open her up. You know, I've thought about changing the settings, but I can't read French, so thing for me to do. Gonna grab my clothes from my suitcase here, load them in like you'd usually do. That's basically it. It's not that hard, actually. So, it's 4 days later. Checked the clothes yesterday, some were still damp. I'm hopeful that, we're good. So remember, folks, when you try to work in Paris, it's always good to be proactive. Put a fan on, okay? And that really helps. All right, team. I don't blame the French. They don't have room enough in their kitchens for a table that doesn't go up and down. And look at the size of this dryer. Or it's actually a washer because they don't have room for dryers. It's a crazy world we live in.
A crazy world indeed, Nicholas, but such is the life in Paris, one of the most crowded cities in the world. Now to Anna.
Alright, so another contributor to the unique pace of Paris is the grocery markets. The main differences being that in Paris, consumers are looking to buy groceries more frequently and they really want quality produce, whereas Americans are looking to buy less frequently in bulk and they want the most bang for their buck.
The covered market that we went to did a great job of showing just how much Parisians love their fresh food. Because Parisian and French food contains a lot less preservatives than the produce found in the US, it not only tastes better, but it also spoils faster. And this is why we see French people really valuing food and taking a lot more time out of their schedules to buy it more frequently and in smaller quantities as well. Whereas impatient Americans have Costco's and Sam's Clubs, Parisians have boulangeries, fromageries, and patisseries where food is made daily and with quality ingredients.
Okay, now let's grab a glass and head out to the restaurants. Unless you'd rather be cooking your meals at home, the restaurants in Paris are a great place to grab a bite, but there's a few things you should be aware of.
Welcome to Paris. As you may have already noticed, the pace of the city is vastly different from other parts around the world. Make no mistake, the food culture is no different. Let's dive right into what you can expect when dining in different establishments throughout Paris. When you are debating where you'd like to eat in Paris, you have a few options. But when evaluating these options, things can begin to come tricky. The French stick to a very strict 3 meals per day diet with no snacking in between. Say you want to get lunch at 3 p.m. because you've been busy all morning. Well, you're out of luck. The French schedules can be extremely tricky to navigate, as posted business hours don't always match up to when the business will be actually open. On top of that, restaurants usually have 2 openings throughout the day. One for lunch, opening around noon and closing around 2:30 p.m., and then another reopening at dinner for 7:30 to 11:30 p.m. Times other than these are when restaurants are typically closed, and you'll be forced to make your way to a boulangerie to grab a sandwich, which isn't a bad thing. When you finally make it into a restaurant during one of these times, this is where it becomes blatantly apparent, in case it hasn't already, how slow the pace of the restaurant culture is in Paris. The reason for this, which is the same as to why the French don't believe in snacking, is because the French greatly value enjoyment of their meals. They view it as a time for relaxation and truly enjoy their food. Due to this, service can be extremely slow in a restaurant. But don't take offense, the servers do this because they want you to relax and enjoy your meal, and do not want to disrupt you, although this may be even more stressful as an American. Typically, once you order, you will not be attended to again other than to bring food. If you'd like to receive your check to pay and leave, you must flag them down. They will not come to you, as they do not want to disrupt you. If you are in Paris, keep these values of food culture in mind. It will help you along the way.
Even though they don't live the most productive of lifestyles, they enjoy many benefits to this. There's a lot less stress, there's time to go to the park, there's time to actually enjoy your meal rather than rushing through it just to get to the end and go elsewhere, as we usually do in America. So remember, take your time and enjoy the life here in Paris, France.